Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a long time. It's probably been over 2 years or something of that nature. Who knows? Who's counting time? I know I'm not. But we're back for another episode of the Almighty Psyche. And I am your glamorous and fabulous host, Andre Psyche. And today we have a beautiful, beautiful lady joining us. Her name is Taylor Sims. She's actually a musician and a photographer and a creative all around. She's probably going to be ruling the planet one day. She's a queen among ladies, and she's going to be blowing our minds today. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, from music to the scientific method to, what did we not talk about? Just a lot of some spirituality. We hit it off in the very beginning, straight into the number 666. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We explain the numerology behind it and try to figure out why people are afraid of it. We just straight up just dive into it. And then we just kind of hang out and chat about things of positive nature, try to understand how to become better musicians, how we even became musicians in the first place. So it's quite a conversation. I'm happy to present it to you and to include you in a wonderful day. Alrighty, we're jumping in right now. Whoosh.
Ooh, okay.
Physical.
Physical and the spiritual merging. 666.
666. Do you study numerology at all?
I know a little bit.
I jumped into numerology a lot, actually. So like 666, which is why it's funny. People are afraid of it. It's a number of carbon too. You know, carbon, 6 atoms, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons. So it's 666. So it symbolizes the earthly world, the physical world, and that's where your intentions. That's when they come into manifestation. Is 666.
Oh my god!
Right. So it's like people are afraid of 666, but that's
so
that's
cool.
like when what you've been working on finally pans out.
Oh.
The other side of it is if you're just really being too focused on the physical and that panning out to you, you might start seeing that number kind of appear as a sign.
Oh, okay.
So either it's the end where you're like, oh, things are coming together, or it's just like, dude, get your head out of your physical world. You're not working on the internal. Turn yourself inward and start doing it. But that's just random.
And so people are superstitious of it because it has such a meaning to it.
Well, people are superstitious because it goes back to the religion. I mean, Christianity, 666, number of the devil, and most people are afraid of it because it's just indoctrined. Be afraid of 666.
Okay.
Be afraid of 13.
Where do you think it came from? Where do you think that fear came from?
666.
Yeah.
Man, I have so many people that would probably answer you so much better.
Let's just make something up.
I can't. I don't want to.
Because there was a guy, and he was like, fuck this Jesus dude, okay? I'm gonna put the fear into the hearts of everyone, and so he had to, like, make up some shit, and so it was like, he had... Come on, help me here.
I was too enthralled by the explanation. I was like, where are you going to take this? I'm seeing
he had 6 moles on his face. He had 6 freckles on his face. And at the time, he had 6 mistresses. and then he just thought he would add the last 6. And then that was it. That's where the story comes from.
I could definitely ask somebody.
Oh my god!
I have some friends that study a lot of the occult, because I studied a lot of the occult, and again, people are afraid of the occult. Hidden the occult means hidden, just hidden knowledge. The same thing with just yoga or it's all ancient knowledge that is now coming back and has some a pertinence in our life. But people are afraid because they're like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Which I agree to a point, because you can get yourself into some messes if you're walking around where you don't belong. You might get stabbed. Same thing with I believe in the ethereal planes and that there are other beings coexisting under different frequencies, and you can call upon them one way or another. So it's if you don't know what you're doing, it's like, hey, I'm not saying like the devil or anything like that's real, but it's like there's some nasty creatures out there, and I think some drugs allow those creatures to come inside of you. Maybe like alcohol. If you have too much alcohol, you kind of drain yourself of your own spirit, which is why there's called spirits. And what do you use alcohol for? In like,
it's so true.
You extract the essence. You know, that's how you get essential oil. You put alcohol into plants. You extract the essence of that of the plant. Now you have a concentrated thing of you know, of that plant.
Yeah.
With medicinal properties.
The spirit of the plant. You have the
put
spirit
inside
of, the
of you extract your spirit, your spirit, beat out or whatever it goes, and then now you're kind of a hollow husk walking around. I've blacked out before, and then you start doing shit that you don't really do.
Right.
You kind of invite something to maybe jump inside of you or something.
So trippy. I totally agree. Like, it's the spirit of things. It's the spirit of things. Like, I was talking to someone who doesn't believe in the power of essential oils and like how there's all this scientific proof that there is actually scientific proof
there's a lot
that it doesn't do anything. There's
a lot that it does.
Right, and even if there wasn't any scientific proof of that it does do things, it's like, can't you just tell that there's a spirit to the essential oil of lemon compared to lavender? Like, there's a different energy to it. You know what I mean? So do we really need to always have scientific proof of things to just start connecting with things and believing in?
I think to a point, because I mean, science is beautiful and I love science. Like, I mean, I'm a science backer. I love science, even though I'm a little bit past it with I'll sit here and talk about ethereal stuff that, you know, science will not touch with a 10-foot stick. But at that point, you take the scientific inquiry I take the scientific inquiry that I've learned and I've applied it to my own life, you know, to myself, to my experience. So can I reproduce these results if I continue doing this, right? So in the person that I am, I've proven it to myself sufficiently that what I know is to be true. I can't prove it to you. I can't prove it to anybody else. I've proven it to myself. So that's why I'm not sitting here and saying, you need to do what I'm doing, or you need to believe in Jesus, or anything like that, you know, because I have my beliefs, whatever they are, and I stay true to them because I've played around and my pants, they all come together, the music, they all come together in the same point. But I've made it a point to prove it to myself. Like scientifically speaking right now too, like essential oils, if your friend actually goes and looks up some scholarly articles, there's thousands that prove their efficacy, that prove that I mean, they have all the, you know, antibiotic properties or, you know, antiviral properties, all the things that you can look up. That's real. There've been tests. Totally. And I'll even tell you, it's like cold sores, get some peppermint oil, put it on there. You don't need no Abreva. It goes away in like a day. Wow. It works. You can try it. Or you can just believe and say, yeah, it's mumbo jumbo. And then whatever. You know, just don't do it. I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is definitely a lot to science to a point, because you need to be able to know what is true in a sense of, you don't want people to just lie to you. You don't want to be gullible. You want to be able to.
Okay, so. Yeah, you don't want to be gullible. You don't want to just blindly believe things.
So then, you corroborate with other people. You did it, I have these results. I did it, I have these results.
Right.
And then we have the same result. Oh, hence, whatever the process is, this must be the way something works. And then you can apply this to everything. You can apply science to everything. Science doesn't have to be, you know, quantum mechanics or astronomy or anything like that. How you act, or how your relationship, you know, acts. It's like, apply science to it. Anytime you do this, what is the reaction? There's the reaction. Anytime I come home with good news, maybe that person is mad. Anytime I come home with bad news, maybe this person's still mad. Wow. Maybe they're just a mad person.
Wow.
You know? And you can apply this anyway. Just look at your life in that sort of scope, and you will start to uncover truths about people. Okay,
so let's say you have a beginner person who wants to start doing this. What are, like, the building blocks of your approach? Like, how would you teach someone to have a more scientific mind and, like, be able to prove certain things in their own life.
Practice science.
Practice science.
Well, I mean, the best thing to apply, for me at least, the best thing to apply the scientific lifestyle is to get accustomed to a scientific method. And scientifically speaking, you got to make a hypothesis. Okay, if I do this, this will happen. Yeah. So if then, because this is high school stuff. If then because if I kick a dog, then the dog will bite me because they don't like that. Right. And then you can write that down, and then you can perform your experiment. You always have to have a control variable. You have controlling variables. You have to have manipulated variables. So you only need one manipulated variable, which is I'm going to change one thing. Everything's going to stay the same. So the dog's going to be the same. It's going to have the same food. It's going to have the same everything. The one variable is I'm going to kick it and write down that. And then you need to have the control experiment, which is I'm not going to kick the dog. Right. So what happens when I'll pet the dog? Oh, it doesn't bite me. And then the experiment is when I kick the dog, oh, the dog bites me. The only thing that changed is the action of me kicking the dog. So hence, I can clearly say, okay, hypothesis was correct. Or you say the null hypothesis was disproved, because you're always trying to prove the null hypothesis. You're trying to prove the otherwise. Yeah. That nothing else happens. That your hypothesis is the only explanation.
Yes.
So you say, well, the null is... if I kick the dog won't bite me. Well, kick the dog bit me. I disproved the null hypothesis. Now I'm just getting too deep in there. The whole thing is make one variable and test for it by making that the only possible thing.
Oh man, I feel like people get really hung up on, like, they won't even go that deep because they're like, oh, the dog bit me. Oh, I'm forever going to associate dogs with biting, and I will never feel comfortable with that again. I feel like we're all just these emotional beings, and we just fall into that where we're just like trying to survive day by day. We have no control of our minds, just saying.
And I remember these days of life, but we have a lot of control. That's what I'm trying to figure. That's why I'm writing the music. That's why I bring it all back around to music. Is to share with people you have total control over your mind, over your emotions, over how you experience life, over what situations you find yourself in. We have so much control in life but it doesn't look like we do, right? So I remember my 20s, whatever. Before now, I remember just trying to be so controlling of life, physically controlling. Just like, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to do all this together, and this is going to happen. And you set these expectations, and then what happens when that happens? When I set expectations of life, what happens?
Yeah.
Right? They fall short. Yeah. You feel sad. You start judging yourself. You start judging others, and you don't necessarily live harmoniously with life, because you're trying to just move things together. It's like you will work. You will force it. And I realized by letting go of that nature of myself and just kind of letting life act the way that it acts, I realized that I have way more control of life than when you actually try to force to control it.
Yeah, because there are these rhythms that the earth runs. I feel like the earth has natural rhythms, and we can just start to slow down and feel our bodies, and and not have to time everything, not have to set a time, we're meeting at this time, make sure you do it, but just slow down and do things on a natural rhythm. I've been learning that with the Native American traditions, and we're practicing that, how to slow down. We just got out of Soil, which is a 3-week period where you do not dig in the earth, you don't run, you don't dance, you don't laugh excessively, and the point is just to go within and listen to the earth and listen to those things and those patterns that you are in, and wondering, do I want to do this? And you're also not supposed to talk bad about anyone. And anyway, it's just I feel like the Native American traditions, they are so in line with the natural rhythms of like how things work together. So, and yeah.
And we just got out of that time.
Yeah, we just got out of it.
Maybe that explains how I've been feeling.
Really?
Or something.
That's so cool. Yeah. That is so cool. Yeah, for you it's like scientific, but for me I feel like it's so, it's all energy. Like I just have to like settle my mind down, learn how to meditate and pray and just like connect with source, and that's how I like get what you're getting, which is just like natural.
You've proven it to yourself that works anytime you do these things, and you've subconsciously practice science. You prove to yourself that it works.
Oh, fine.
I don't do this. I don't do this. Yeah, I don't do this consciously anymore. It's like I just know that I'm living this lifestyle, and I know that I need that proof for myself. But now that I've gotten to a point where I can spiritually connect to higher realms and just feel these things, I understand that it's a part of life, and I don't have to prove it to anybody else, because that's when try to explain to somebody, it's like, oh, like magic is real, or just like a higher truth is real. It's like you can't, and then they'll just the more you try to explain to them, the less you'll feel it. It's like, do you? I know how I can connect to it. I know how I can reach it, and you just
true.
So
true.
So it's trippy. It's
so
trippy.
True.
And that's why when I was telling you earlier about like or when we read the oracle card, or about the signs, right? I feel like there's a point of where I was looking for the answer, for the proof. I even remember like just, I don't know, screaming to like the ethers, just like, or no, there's a song, and it's like, if anybody out there or something, or just like somebody say, anybody out there, and I just remember just like really screaming it with my essence, not just like screaming it, but just like screaming with my essence while I was singing it, and that's when life just, oh, you want some signs? Here you go, and it just almost drowned me in them, drowned me, and I was just like, my God, this is literally breathtaking. I could not breathe while it was happening.
So good.
And then after that, I came back, and I was like, okay, I don't need these things, and I just try to hide from them. I was like, just, I get it. You're there. Just leave me alone for a while. And now I feel like, they happen at a good rate where they just get peppered in, just like boom, and I was like, oh, see ya. All right. Thanks. And I get excited. Yeah. Because it's not overwhelming anymore.
Yeah. My friend, she always says, like when we do prayers or whatever, and she always ends it with grace, like with ease and grace. Otherwise it's like a shit ton of messages all at once, and it's like schizophrenic. It feels like a schizophrenic moment. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, being spiritual is riding the line between normal, quote unquote, and schizophrenia and just mentally ill, because it's what it is. And I feel like schizophrenics, living here with one for about a month and doing a podcast with it, I think I told you,
a little,
and being an empath and picking up that energy and seeing where he was, it was, oh gosh. But it's the same thing. It just depends on if you can get out of it. I felt like if I would have kept getting the signs and just like it was fighting from growing, because all the voices, quote unquote again, what they say is just like, they just blare the absolute truth about you, right? And then you got to take it, and it's dirty and it's gross, but you have to overcome it. It's like, okay, you have to accept that you're flawed, or you do this or you do that, and you have to be, okay, how do I overcome it? And that's why a lot of people have like suicidal tendencies when they come to that, because it's like, oh, I'm not worthy to live on this planet. It's like, in a sense, yes, because that person needs to die. Not, you don't have to die. That person needs to die. The way you can kill that person is to change your ways and become a different person. Wake up. It's like, okay, I'm no longer gonna swear at old people or something. Or I'm not gonna be a smoker. Or I'm not gonna do drugs or this, that, the other thing. Whatever your inner being is telling you, that's not aiding your bigger higher growth. You disattach yourself from that, and then you wake up a different person. Like for me, years ago, 3-4 years ago now, I remember literally waking up a completely different person.
Wow.
Just not a 360, just 180. I woke up as this person. And the day before, I was not this person.
Really?
Just.
Did you go through anything that day before? Like, or was it just because you fell asleep?
So it was, but before it, there was, I started meditating, I started eating better. So it was, thoughts were starting to accumulate, but I was still that person, right? Yeah. So it was getting to a point. And then I had an epiphany of, my power in this world, just like the creative power, we can all create, we can all make things that don't exist. And right now it's just, it used to sound normal. Right now it sounds normal because I'm just living it. But at that moment, I was like, holy shit, I can, I'm God. I can make anything. Yeah. With enough time, with enough focus, I can literally make anything. Wow. And it just shook my whole being. So next morning I woke up and I was just I felt different, energetically different. I acted different. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I stopped everything. And then like a week into it, I found a girlfriend. I was single for a while. I don't know, for a while. No. But I found a girlfriend. She kind of fell in my lap. And we were just a match, perfect match. And I was trying to explain to her, I was like, listen, like a week ago, I even told her, like a week ago, I was a completely different person. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I was just not this person. I was just like completely different. And then we hung out with like our friends, with my friends. And, she would ask them, and he's like, and they're like, yeah, we don't know who this person is.
Whoa.
And I was like, I'm telling you, I'm just like, this is very new to me, what's happening right now with who I am. And
oh my God.
Like a week ago, me would have not liked you at all, but I love you for the fact that, you're free and liberated and whatever she was. So it was quite an interesting.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. That it was like overnight for you.
But I'm that kind of person. As soon as I know, hi sweetie pie.
Hi.
I'm the kind of person that as soon as I know what I want or the decision I need to make, I make the decision. I don't dilly dally. I don't sit there and just jerk off about it for months. It's like, okay, if I give when I was smoking, if I gave myself a reason to quit, I was like, I need to quit. I quit. But it's that time. It's like, well, I don't know, whatever. And then you're just like in between, choices. You don't know what you want, so you're just hovering in the
no man's land.
In the no man's land.
Yeah, I was feeling that the other day. I was like praying, meditating, and I got into this like crazy, beautiful state. And it was like emptiness. It was like total emptiness. And I pulled a card, and it was like, where are you going to go now? What are you going to do now? Because you're at point zero. And you could literally choose anything. And there was like this part of me that was the old me. That was like this scared little voice. And I was like, I don't know. And it was like total hesitation. And I could like feel it in my body. And then there was this other part that just totally jumped on top of that and was like, it was like this bold part that was like, we're doing this and we're feeling good right now. We're going to feel good right now. We're going to do this. And it was like such a surprise that like I'm discovering that within myself. I'm discovering that I have a voice, like a different voice, like a powerful voice inside of me. And like, it's almost like, all I have to do is use a little bit of willpower, and then it just like goes on its own. But I have to like spark it, and then it's like a good thought. Like I'll have a good I'll just like give myself a positive thought, and like it changes the energy in my body like on its own. It's fucking blowing my mind. I know. So yeah, for me it's been a slow burn. For you, it was overnight. And for me, it's just been years of this. And like now it's starting to quicken where it's like every single day is a transformation and a way to like connect to that world, the invisible world. And yeah, so dreams are coming true.
Dreams are definitely coming true.
Yeah.
But like it started quickly, obviously, but now it's an everyday choice again. It's a lifestyle. It's you once you start living like a healthy lifestyle, you gotta continue. You can't just I ate a salad for a week. Yeah, it becomes something you crave. It becomes something you do. So now that it did happen, and then I just changed, and I got a taste of just love. And then, kind of, discovering, unconditional love and how I fit into society and how everything plays into each other, because just so simple now, right? Now you gotta walk in those shoes. Now you gotta be the example, because it's easy. You can just stop. You can stop anything at any moment. I've been working out for a long time. I could stop going tomorrow, and then that could be my new norm. It's like, now I don't work out, and then I could just sit there on the couch for 6 months, and it's like, it gets deteriorated. You got to keep moving forward. You got to keep sharpening the blade. You got to stay on top of it, and that requires effort.
Yeah, it does. It does. Effort. Yeah. I feel like it'll get easier, though, the more you do it.
Well, I feel
just
like...
a snowball.
Yes. The momentum continues. I feel like it will get easier. And as it gets easier, you find harder things to put on. So you're you remain at the same level.
Yes.
But you just keep... adding things. You outgrow these, you add new things, and you keep climbing the mountain, but the difficulty remains the same.
It's so true. Like, just playing music with you and having you be like, okay, we're going to do open mics. We're going to perform. I know. And I'm like, holy shit. I never thought I'd be ready for this like a year ago. And now I'm like, I feel ready. I feel ready. Like, I could do it.
It's okay. I'm looking forward to it, because you're going to bomb, and it's going to be great.
What?
I swear. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good learning experience, because if you don't bomb, I'll be a little afraid of you, because I'm like, she's a psychopath. She's probably going to kill me. Does she have a knife on her right now? Oh my gosh, I'm going to run away.
I don't think I'm going to bomb, honestly.
No, you probably won't.
Is that horrible to say?
No.
But I'm just like, well, if I learn the stuff, all I have to do is, you know what might make it really weird is just stage fright.
It's the nerves, and it's... Exactly. Because I remember, I started playing, and a year ago, and within the first week, I was like, I'm going to perform this. This is frightening. Wow. So I was like, I'm going to do this. And I had an art show across the road right here, my friend's brewery. And I made a flyer, just like, okay, it's going to be, art show, and there's me teaching the kids, right, on the flyer. And on there, I was like sitting there for probably like an hour, putting live music. I was like, live music, and I put it on there, and I saved it. And I was like, oh god, now I have to do it. So it gave me a week to just practice, which I've only been playing for like 2 days at that point.
Oh my god!
Gave me a week to practice, and I was practicing for like 6-7 hours a day, so it wasn't a problem. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn. What was it? 2 songs. First song was. The Book of Love, which the first second I heard that song years ago, it just brought me to tears, and I listened to it for like an hour. And then the second song really helped me just like get through last year's winter, because it was a hard hitting winter, just a lot of emotions, very heavy, and from what I heard, many people were experiencing it. So I'm not special when it comes to that, but it was very heavy. And it was called The Winter Song by Head and the Heart, and it was great. So and it was super hard. It was like a lot of finger picking and a lot of moving on the left hand, and I've never touched the guitar before. So, but I learned it, and I felt good. I was playing it at home. I felt good. I remembered the lyrics, put it all together. I was like, wow, I didn't even think I could sing and play at the same time, and now I'm doing it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the day came of the art show, and I got everything set up. People started showing up. And they're all asking, so what time's live music? And because I didn't put a time for when it starts. And I was like, oh, 7 o'clock? And, and it was like 2 hours away. I was like, oh, God. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll wait around till 7. I was like, oh, gosh. And then 7 o'clock rolls around, I'm just like hesitantly, just like, oh, I guess I'll just take this guitar and pull up the chair. And I was like, guys, live music is about to start. And then I'm just sitting there, I was like, listen, just don't hate me, please. Just don't hate me. And I go into playing the Book of Love first, I think. And my fingers just aren't doing it. Because I'm finger picking and doing stuff, and they're just messing up, and I'm just like, ugh. But I'm going through it, and I'm singing, and I'm apologizing, and I'm singing and playing. So that song was over, and then I try to play the second song, which is, harder. And I'm going through that, and then I'm just demolishing the song. It's horrible. And again, I'm just apologizing and singing and doing this, and I finished. And then I was like, well, that's it, folks. Thanks for not throwing tomatoes at me and stuff. And they're like, that was good. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I knew it was bad.
I bet it wasn't, though.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's all in my head, but
Yeah.
the way I felt about it was just horrible.
Oh, okay.
So then, it made me go back and just practice more, and then I was like, okay, I need to get used to being in public, so there's a bar that's not too far away from here, and they had, open mics Tuesday, and just went in there, and I just started playing, and again, I felt like I sucked. There's people listening, but not that many, because it's a bar. But they enjoyed it, but I was still scared, and hands were still shaking. I'd be great at home by myself. Great. I was like, dude, I'm so good. I go there and just why can't I do this?
Oh, wow.
And that took me maybe a month, 2 months, or probably a month of playing at that bar. And then I found an open mic at a cafe where people were quieter and more respectful. And slowly, I don't know if it's nerves that went away or just I just started connecting more with it. I felt like as soon as I closed my eyes, because every time I play, I close my eyes and just kind of get into this realm. I would actually start closing my eyes, get into this world, and then I wouldn't care where I was. I felt at home, and then by being in that sensation of home, beautiful music would come out through the guitar, through my voice. I would feel it. Sometimes I'd cry, and I was like, "Shit, that was so good!"
Wow.
And now I'm just like, "Yeah."
Wow,
yeah.
That is so amazing. Okay, so one of the ways that we can be more in tune with our own energy is to just close our eyes.
Oh yeah.
Great. Putting that on my list.
For me, living life with your eyes open, you're always observing how things are, right?
Yeah.
So again, going spiritually speaking, when you close your eyes, you're not observing life, and when you're not observing it, you're allowing it to exist in infinite possibilities. Like you're speaking, quantum mechanics speaking. If you're not observing an electron, it's at that point it acts as a wave instead of a solid particle.
Whoa,
right?
Yes.
So this is the famous double slit experiment.
Yeah.
So when you're not observing life and you close your eyes, it just I feel like for me the pressure goes away, and then I'm able to reach that state, because maybe when I open my eyes, maybe I'll be in freaking Narnia with dinosaurs running around because I'm in a different universe. And that way, when I am closing my eyes and I'm playing, I feel like I'm setting my intentions out there, and they're much stronger because I'm not expecting them to do anything, and I'm not distracted by anything that is. I'm just allowing things to just be a soup of experiences, be a soup of things. And I'm just in the soup of things, singing.
Yes.
Right? And then when I open my eyes, it's it's always a fun experience to me. It's when I open my eyes, and it's there's more people than there were before, and I was like, oh, you guys multiplied.
Wow.
Would you look at that?
I love it.
Or just seeing them so intently watch, and I was like, oh yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. Okay, so the soup thing, I was just watching this video last night, actually, and he's like, here's an exercise you can do to open your throat chakra, and he was like, just close your eyes and listen, and start to listen to all the sounds around you, but don't focus on anything. Let it be the soup around you. And I feel like that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I feel like we can do that. We can close our eyes and have that experience of limitlessness, but we can do it with our eyes open, and we can just practice. Don't get hooked on anything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
With the open eyes, I'm just spacing out. I'll sit there. I'm a master at not blinking anymore. I can sit there and just not blink for a long time. Right. I freaked out some of my kids. They thought I was a robot. Literally, I was sitting there I had an eye staring contest with one of the kids because he just wouldn't watch the movie. I was like, dude, watch the movie.
Oh my god.
And I'm trying to write things and type things. And he just kept looking at me. So I just staring contest. He blinks multiple times. He's like, this guy's a robot. And I was like, dude, just watch the movie. And I look away. But I continue not to blink. And I'm writing, not blinking still. And he keeps watching me. He's like, oh my god, he still hasn't blinked yet. It was 5-10 minutes probably.
Oh my god.
And he's like, he still hasn't blinked. And then I just look at him blink. And I just start writing. I was like, dude, he's a freaking robot.
That's so creepy. You're creeping him out.
His assignment was to watch the freaking movie behind me. That's all it is. It's dude, it's movie day. Watch the movie. Leave me alone.
Oh.
I can't direct you. I can't teach you anything right now because it's their movie. So just watch the movie.
What movie was it?
I don't know. It was Snow Dogs or something.
Snow Dogs. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just covering for a period, so it's came in there, there's no plans. Well, the plans are put in this movie and make him watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
You heard.
That's
Watch
nice.
the movie.
That's nice.
I know those are nice periods I experience from time to time. Yeah. It's funny. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you haven't had the stage time, it's natural. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you don't need it. I don't know. My experience is different from everybody else's, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know anything. But once you get on stage, it's not even about like whether you care about what they think or not, because I've been independent from that mindset for a long time, and it wasn't just being nervous of what will they think, It's just for some reason, as soon as you take that little step, it doesn't have to be big stage. As long as you take that little step, it just feels different for some reason.
Wow.
And you have to get used to that feeling, whatever that feeling is.
Whoa. Oh my God. You're blowing my mind right now. Like it's a literal step up into your new reality. And so it's going to be a little like hairy, I think. Might get a little like, whoa, weird in the transition.
You're trying to reach a new vibratory state of being.
Yeah.
So while you're undergoing that, you're going to be in unharmonious frequencies until you completely shift to that's so cool. I like that visual that that's a very good visual to have.
That's totally what it is. Well, that's what it is. It's like I'm like stepping into a new reality. I'm like really starting to live a new life.
Oh my gosh. So going back to like quantum mechanics, all that stuff. So each choice that presents itself in front of us, we never choose one, we choose both always, right? So both of them exist. If you think about multiverses and all these things, so infinite sea of possibilities already exist, and we're just choosing which one we're conscious of, right? So I feel like, because I believe in that you can shift realities quickly, right? By shifting your mindset, right? So that you don't necessarily change this world. You pick your consciousness from this me and place it in a multiple in a separate universe where that already exists, right? So it gets
multiverses.
Yeah, multiverses. So it gets trippy.
Infinite number of possibilities right now. So
when you choose to live a certain lifestyle, say I'm going to be a musician now, you start vibrating at a different frequency where you already are a musician, and then your consciousness just kind of lifts from this person whose trajectory is whatever it is, and you go to that and you start living that life. And then if you ever get tired of that, just move.
So amazing.
Yeah. So
amazing. And what it really is, what this is giving me, the music, and I'm like I don't think I've ever been this creative before. Like super creative every single day, just listening to music and hearing music differently. And then thinking, like, how can I write music? How can I write a song? It's blowing my fucking mind. It's much more than photography. Like, I feel like photography is more like my business now. It's just kind of like a business thing. And this is like an actual dream of mine. So, yeah, I know.
But it's a step that you needed to take. A creative step to be in your own and let yourself express yourself through. It was something that you felt safe, and you did, and you do great. Especially that last picture you sent. Oh my god!
Oh, thanks!
I felt magical.
Oh, cool.
I feel magical. I look at that picture in my head right now. I was like, damn, it's a mystic being right there.
Nice,
it's shiny.
Love that. I love that so much. I know, right? Like, so yeah, it's like we have to keep taking risks in our lives, and we have to just keep like going forward and. Yeah. So
how long have you had music in your life, one way or another?
I started taking guitar lessons when I was like 15, 14, 15. And then I was in a band.
What?
We did a band, the School of Rock.
Okay.
Dace's School of Rock. Okay, it's in Maple Valley, and they do lessons there, and they you can be in a band. You can be in a band with other kids. And so I did that, and we performed. We would like perform on stage. This is crazy to even think about. And there was like this Doors song. We did Roadhouse Blues, and I think I chose that song. I was like, okay, we're gonna do this song. And I was like the lead guitarist and the singer, and I had a solo. So fucking dope. Oh my god. Yeah, I remember like
Just shred.
I remember one time we performed the solo. I just totally beefed it. I know, I was like, oh, and they were recording it too. I was like, okay. But yeah, so I did that, and it's always been my dream to like really be a singer and play music, but I was just too embarrassed. I was too shy. I was really shy. And I was like, I can't. And then I was like, girl, you got this. Come on, take a couple singing lessons and you're fine. So, yeah. And it's more about the feeling, you know, it's like you don't have to be an amazing singer. You do not have to be an amazing singer to just like sing. Like Erykah Badu, she's my girl, and she says the same thing. She's like, I'm just an artist. Singing is not my main thing. And I'm not even that good at it. And
if you got a voice, you can sing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the attitude. It's like, yeah, it's giving yourself the freedom to just express yourself that way.
And it's like such it's what is it about the voice that is so like everything? It has everything. It's like, for me at least, it's just it's like the greatest. It's my greatest tool right now of like feeling free. So yeah, it's really good. I'm excited. What about you? You just like decided to play guitar. And you did it, and then you like performed in front of people like 2 weeks later. And that's pretty crazy.
I know.
I love that.
Well, so before I have to uncover a little bit of truth. So I have held the guitar before last year, and yeah, it was high school, right? And then I was taking like a guitar class, which at that time I was like, why am I doing this? Who makes me do these things? So, but I had a guitar and sat there, you know, and whatever the class was, and that's that. You know, I didn't care about it, didn't do much about it, didn't connect with it. So that's why I had a guitar, you know, upstairs with me to make that connection, right? So then last year, it's like when I did play guitar in high school, I remember having that fear, just like I didn't want to perform in front of anybody because because I sucked. You know, I don't want, and it was also just like an expression of self, right? You really have to be confident about yourself in order to express yourself. Because you have to be, you know, what's the right word?
Integrated.
Sincere. You have to be sincere when you express yourself. Otherwise, it's not you. So, but when you are showing who you are, you open yourself open. You're leaving yourself open to other people criticizing you. Oh, that's who you are. Oh, gross. Nobody likes you. You know. So in high school, especially, I was not the kind of guy to stand out because I was very afraid. I did not have a good high school or middle school career. I'm actually writing that into the book right now. Just it's very heavy emotions and very heavy experiences I've had going through there. But, you know, again, shaped me the man I am today, and that's why I'm so strong and open. It's because I felt the complete opposite side of that, and that was disgusting. Oh, man. So, and then this is just liberating and beautiful. It's like,
yes.
It's like, what? I hope everybody lives this.
Yeah.
But, so I had that fear of just like, you know, showing myself, and especially just singing in public. Like, oh boy, the same thing. You're just completely naked. Yeah. And I think we're all afraid of being naked. I mean, I don't anymore. I'm walking around balls out in the gym now. But I'm like one of those 80-year-olds, just like don't care, and I just don't care.
Oh my God.
Hey, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. But again, it's just once you can be comfortable with just showing who you really are, none of it matters. And because nobody can judge you, and if they do, what about it? You know, nothing changes. I'm still gonna be me. You're still gonna be you. And if you judge me, you're probably not gonna want to wander into my life anyway. So then you just kind of stay away.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. And I get how I get that I get the same feeling of like I literally just couldn't deal with sharing that much. I couldn't be that vulnerable. I did not feel good about myself. You know, I just didn't. I was super depressed and just like awkward, so awkward. And oh my God, and like now having this strong voice come in is just, it's like a completely different reality. It's a completely different world.
Yeah, and I think it's the self-love, right? I mean,
it totally is.
You've learned to accept yourself for exactly who you are. Mm-hmm. So then if you do share that, and if somebody doesn't accept you, you're like, well, I don't need you to accept me. I accept me.
God, yes.
And that's where I reached the point, you know, last year, right? Even though I was going through all these things, I already got to a point where I accepted myself no matter where I was, no matter how low things got. Mm-hmm. I had my own self-love. I would treat myself well. And then, even though this was, again, just very vulnerable, I knew, I was like, oh, I can overcome this. It's not a problem. I don't care. So then I started doing it. And then the more I did it, the better I got, the more I performed. And then between snowballs, it gets easier. And now I'm just sitting here. Yeah. I still think I suck, but I mean, apparently I don't.
No! Oh my God, no, you don't. No, yeah, thanks for saying that. It totally is the self-love. It's the self-love. And it's trusting that, it's like trusting in yourself. And like, you got this, girl, you can do it. Just like, just go for it, you know? Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, just trusting that you're actually awesome. You're actually an awesome person. And like, what the fuck? Like, just come on. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of positive self-talk lately, and like rewiring my brain.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, just like multiple times a day, checking in and like, what's going on? Okay, let's just we-rire my brain. No, wait. We-rire by brain. Okay. Oh my God, the dyslexia. I've met a lot of people with dyslexia lately, and I think it's like a thing that's happening. I think people are just like
getting dyslexic.
They're rewiring their brains. I think it's like a rewiring in consciousness, and it's coming out with dyslexia. People are like, this isn't working. The old ways are not working. Energy is stronger than like the logical, you know, like reading. It's so silly. Oh my God.
I wish I had a tea dispenser everywhere I go. I swear. My biggest problem is when I go to school and there isn't one. And then, my biggest problem, because I'll be like, fine, whatever, I'll go just buildings away to go get, you know, my tea. And then I come back. There's no bathroom in the classroom, obviously. And I have to stay with the kids. They're not stupid. But I have to stay with them. But, dude, and then they come to me, can I go to the bathroom? Really have to go? I was like, really? You really have to go? I've been in this class for 3 periods and I have to pee the whole time. I'm waiting till lunch to go.
Oh, my God. No.
And I swear, like, the few times I just get so bad, and I'll just go in between classes, right?
Yeah.
I have to go run, like, all the way to the main office to use it, you know, to the faculty bathroom, because I can't use the kids' bathroom.
You can't?
I'm assuming. What if I'm a pedophile?
Okay,
that's something
true.
of that nature. Which I get it, but that's the reality I have to live in. What if I'm a pedophile? I can't pee in a freaking toilet, and I have to run all the way to the office. So I mean, I'll go there and I'll pee and I'll come back, and dude, I'll be late to my own class, and I'm just like, give me a bathroom in the freaking classroom. Yeah. I just want to pee.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Are you in one of those portables?
Oh no, it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Oh, it's just portable. So far.
Actually, no, not most. If I'm in elementary school and I'm in a portable, they have a bathroom in there.
Oh, wow.
I'm happy with that. Because they don't expect the kids to run back into the building, and who knows, what if they get lost or get kidnapped?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, you never know. An eagle could swoop them up.
Yes, eagles, super eagles. They exist.
Okay, I have a solution for you, though. Why don't you just carry around the hot water? The hot what?
What? I was talking about peeing into a bag.
Oh no! This is a solution for having tea with you all the time.
Yeah, that I can do.
That's
I have
an
one of
easy those. Like hot. You just get one of those hot water electric heater.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that. If anything,
you're not gonna carry one around.
No. If I worked in one place, I'd bring that and leave it into a classroom, but I don't. So If anything, I have my water bottle, which is metal, and it keeps the hot for like 12 hours, so that wouldn't be a problem. The problem is once I have tea, because it's a antidiuretic, I think. It makes you go pee?
Yeah.
So yeah, tea makes you, or it's a diuretic. I don't remember which one's the correct one. But it makes you go pee a lot. So it's like, I'll drink some tea and then into like period 1, and I'm like, oh snap, it's starting. And then period 2, I'm just like, I'm about to burst. And then period 3, I'm just like, I'm just gonna cry.
Oh, I can't. No, that's not true. I can. People are really good, you know? We can like, I was in the sweat lodge yesterday and I had to pee.
Just sweat it out.
And
just sweat it out.
Okay, so this happens when I go and see a movie in the theaters too. It's like I get nervous that I'm gonna have to pee and I don't want to pee during the movie or during the sweat lodge, and so just because I'm nervous, I will have to pee.
That's fine.
And so it happened yesterday in the sweat lodge, and I like just put my hands over my bladder, and I was like, okay, Spirit, please, can I just not have to worry about peeing? And it totally went away.
That's funny.
It totally went away.
Just reshift your focus.
Reshift the focus, just acknowledge, yeah, I know this is happening, you know what, it's okay.
We'll deal with it later.
Just relax.
Just absorb that back into the stream.
Just absorb it back. Oh my God.
We need water all the time. Just absorb it back. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Do not pee in a bag in class. Do not pee in...
What if I get with like the catheter bags?
Oh,
just stick it in and then just have it strapped to my leg, and it's like, sorry, hold on, kids, hold on. All right, and just move on with the lesson.
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh, that'd be so funny. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask you again. It's like what do you think music is? Like, how do you want to share your music? No. How? What do you want to share with your music? I guess. What do you want other people to get out of it? How do you want to connect?
Okay, well, I want to say what music is for me right now.
Okay.
And then we'll go to that part. I feel like this is the first piece. I feel like for me, music and sharing this music and speaking and like singing is about, it's like a new Taylor emerging. It really feels like just a whole new level of confidence and connection with myself and just ultimate healing. Like it feels, it's probably like the best feeling that I'm feeling in my life right now. Like it's really just something special. And connecting with other people, I think I always just want to be an example. Yeah. Like, I just want to be an example for people. Like, you can do this too. You can live your dreams, and it can feel really good, and don't be afraid, and just, yeah. 'Cause some of the stuff I hear on the radio, I'm just like, what? Wait, we think this is so hard, but it's not. Like, it's just simple. It's really
just
simple.
do it. That's it. You just do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, like, when I imagine playing music and, like, performing music for people, I think it's just so real. It's, like, the depths of realness. And I really like that, and I want more people to get back to that. I think it's important. And,
of course.
Yeah, I don't think people do it enough.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to tell you can't than to tell you that you can. Well, I mean, it's easier to tear people down than to support them. At least that's what, at least how that society thinks. I think it's way easier to help you. It's like, oh no, you got it, than to just tear you down. It's like, you're a piece of shit. But again, it's how you treat yourself. You will treat others the same way. If you're tearing yourself down, it's easier for me to tear you down. If I'm building myself up, it's easier for me to build you up. It's like, because I'm practicing that. You know, the momentum is set. I don't want to change trains in my head. Like, I was like, I'm gonna be nice to you, but I'm gonna be really mean to you. You know, you can't do those two things.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that, what you're saying about the momentum thing, and just how, the way that we treat others is really how we're treating ourselves, and it's so trippy, and you can totally tell. You can tell where a person is at.
Yeah, no.
Just, like how they're interacting with life, you know?
That's why you can't be mad at, people that make your day hard, because they're making their day hard, like, all the time. It's like, oh, well, they're mad at me for these 10 minutes, but they have to live with themselves. And it's like, if I could choose to enter into their world and be like, how dare they, blah, 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 but then you're just like, why am I don't need to do this to myself. So you just elevate, let go, all right, cool, bye. And then they're condemning themselves to the hell that they live in until they realize what they're doing, and then they change their ways, and they become, in their own level, and then, hopefully they'll learn a lesson. But if you've learned that lesson, don't go back to that lesson. You don't need it.
Right.
Sometimes we forget, but
you know what lesson I forget? Okay, I'm gonna just stand by this over here.
By the heater.
I'm learning to not engage with people if I don't have to, like friends and family. Well, not friends. Like, of course you want to engage with friends, but just like I don't have to prove anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Just like
Again.
That's what I'm learning. Is like, okay, take a step back. Do you really need to say this thing? Just like refining life and how to interact with life.
I get you. This is weird. Yeah, no, it's nice to work. Yeah, I agree with you.
I know. I'm like,
once you accept yourself, you don't have to prove anything to anybody else, and you just kind of do what you need to do is right, and then that's it. And people can judge you, or people can think whatever they want to think about you, but at the end of the day, you know what you are, you know who you are, and you know what you're doing. That's it.
Oh yeah. It takes a while to learn that, though.
Oh, of course. None of this happens overnight. That's for sure. But as long as you're diligent and put in the effort every day and try to feel the best. That's the biggest thing. It's like, just try to feel the best.
Whoa.
And sometimes you're feeling the best is crying, and sometimes you're feeling the best is being angry. But try to feel your best.
Oh my god. That's so true. I did that all the way here. I was feeling like just weird for some reason, and I missed the exit. And I just kind of had to, I didn't go crazy, but I just had to kind of yell, because it was all conglomerating in my heart, and and I was like, okay, I need to get this out right now. And I did. I kind of yelled.
No, you gotta do it.
And it was awesome.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
Yeah, it worked it out immediately. I totally knew what to do, what I needed to do, and it was
See, anything
effective.
Anything like that happens, I'll always ask myself, okay, so why did this happen? Obviously, it happened. So what is the benefit that I'm going to get from this? And then I'll just start looking around. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have seen that if I wasn't here. It's like, oh, this makes sense. Okay. There's a little gift here, or you're just connected to something positive. It's like, okay, I understand. Now that bad thing happened or that thing that I didn't necessarily want to happen happened, so I could be at this place where I can experience this really cool thing that happened. Oh, okay, this is cool now. So I just start to, just not even let negative thoughts take hold, and just keep on going. Keep the train moving.
Whoa, you just watch the negative thought, if it starts creeping, and then you're like, just keep going, baby.
Yeah, it's just kidding. That's funny. Just keep going. Hope you guys enjoyed that lovely, lovely conversation with myself, Andre Psyche, and Taylor Sims. One thing that she forgot to mention is that her and I are in a group together called, hold on, let's remember what the name is called, Sage and Sweetgrass. And we'll be releasing music sometime. You don't know when, I don't know when, but sometime. In the meantime, you can follow me everywhere else. Andre Psyche, just Google it, or almightypsyche.com. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Feel free to message us about anything that you want to. My email is on the SoundCloud. and on the iTunes. It should be. Should be included everywhere. You can contact me. If not, just go on our website, almightypsyche.com. Shoot me a message. I would really appreciate to just chat with you guys and know what's on your mind. Maybe one day you'll be on my show too. Who knows? Ooh. Alrighty, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, night. Enjoy the rest of everything. Life is great. And we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.